they have done with their defense. I mean, I thought that the thing that popped out to me was the defensive line, and I know Coach Cash thought that their two interior defensive linemen were probably the best that you faced all year. I was
No
more
question.
impressed with their defensive ends. I thought Shutt had a fantastic game, 97 for you guys, and I wanted to ask in terms of him and the matchup against your freshman quarterback, Jamison Sarver, who looked more like a true freshman. How did you evaluate his play in the game when he was under some pressure for sure from Northwest?
Yeah, I thought he played. I thought he played good for a true freshman against that caliber of a team. Now, did he make mistakes? There's no question. I mean, there and they had a lot to do with it. When you play a team like that, there's going to be some freshman mistakes that are going to come to the forefront. And one of those was taking a sack after we got they dropped the snap on the punt, and we got it back, got the ball back. We didn't come away with any points there. That was critical. And again, that goes back to you got to make sure you take advantage of all your opportunities. But he did make mistakes. I mean, the interception that he threw, the linebacker made a good play on it. I still think JMO can continue to get better at getting rid of the ball on time. I think that's where once he gets that, he's going to be very dangerous because he has such a strong arm.
How do you balance coaching, you and Coach Gleason, in terms of when you have that quarterback in there, trying to balance buying time to make a play? BG was obviously so great at that. And I don't remember him throwing a ton of balls away. I mean, he certainly didn't throw many interceptions. He had like 2 the whole year. But how do you, with a young quarterback, try to balance, okay, this is the time when you're trying to make a play, and this is the time when, you just need to eat this and throw it away, and let's save the yardage, save live to fight on second or third down.
Yeah, I think part of it is film watch, and then learning from your mistakes and understanding pocket presence. The other part of that is the more experience that you have, it's a feel thing. I mean, part of it is just you have a natural feel for it. When you start feeling the heat a little bit, to either step up in the pocket, and that's where JMO's got to get better at, is stepping up, climbing up into the pocket. Sometimes if he has to take off running, he has a tendency to scramble to the right, outside a lot, which is normal for a
right-handed quarterback, probably.
Well, this time last year, he's playing the high school playoffs.
Sure.
Okay, so it is a little bit different for him. And one guy that had a great feel for that is coaching him, and Coach Gleason. So that's another thing, is just relying on the way in his experience and how he played the game, and getting him to be better in that area.
How do they always say that quarterbacks have like a timer or an alarm clock that goes off in their head? I'm assuming that experience is the only way. How does that kind of develop over time when a guy knows, like, hey, you know what, this is about the time that I need to be making a decision? That sixth sense almost.
Well, I think when you get hit, all right, there's the first thing. All right, you take a shot.
Sure.
You're going to be starting to be aware of everything, your surroundings.
Sure.
Okay, everything around you. That's the first thing. And one thing that I know that JMO, he took a couple shots. I think it was good for him to take some the way that he did. The thing about it is he jumped right back up.
Absolutely. That's the most important thing. But speaking of a guy that, jumped up and took an opportunity, Diego Kearns with that 55-yard run. Wow, that was an impressive play. And like I said, I thought that was a really big 2-play sequence for you guys.
Yeah, no question. And we felt like that in the run game we could attack them some on the perimeter, but also have some tight cuts inside their linebackers, and we were able to execute that mid-zone play really well. Like I said, the guys up front blocked it up, and then Diego made a great cut. I thought he ran the ball extremely well. The best I've seen him run the football since he's been here at Emporia State. He's beginning to feel a lot more comfortable. You can see that he's running with the physicality that we want him to. So that was a big play for us. We just wish we could have had a couple more of those.
And you guys, I mean, I don't think that the numbers really were indicative of how good you guys ended up running the football because you're only listed here for 110 yards, but there were several yards. Obviously, quarterback sacks takes,
no question.
Those take yardage away and those count as attempts. So, I mean, it was a really good running game for you guys.
No question. We took it is not indicative of how those guys played up front, because I thought they played a great game, and I think that you look at again the sack, and then we took another sack on a screen play. We shouldn't have taken a sack on. There were 2 sacks there that probably resulted in 40 yards of lost yardage.
And Diego Kearns, by the way, he's going to be a guest on the show coming up here. We'll also talk with linebackers graduate assistant Declan Hobb, a former Hornet. He'll be our other guest here. He'll be coming up next year to talk about this Emporia State defense. Second quarter, obviously, they get 14 points pretty quickly there at the end of the first quarter to snatch the lead away. How big was it for your defense to shut them out in the second quarter?
It was huge, because I felt like, of course, we had the momentum early, and then they began to chip away at that, and for them to go up 14-7, and for us to get some critical stops there right before we go into half, because we felt really good at halftime going in, and we couldn't sustain it, and we just let it slip away too much there in the third quarter.
In the third quarter, I thought one of the key plays was going for it, 4th down and short.
Yep.
It was at your own 46. Just talking, not questioning whether right or wrong. Talk us through the decision-making process right there. Obviously, you give up the short field, they score, but if you were able to sustain that drive and make something happen, certainly could have changed the outcome of the game. What was your process going through that on 4th down?
Yeah, I think right at that moment we just felt like that we needed to go for it, just where we were in the game. And again, we had been running the football effectively.
Yes.
And it's hard. Don't get me wrong. I mean, when I say effectively against them, it's good. I think that, that would probably be one play that, and again, I thought Diego played outstanding. And the best I've seen him play all year, but I think that would be one play where, hey, just realize that it's 4th and 1, get low pad level and get the first down. And don't worry about jump cutting and hit that thing. You can't hit it fast enough. It's like an old fullback on the veer path.
Sure.
We just didn't get it. And those are those plays. There's 5 to 7 plays in a game like that you need to win on, and we didn't win on those plays.
When you're making those decisions, are you a card guy to go by, okay, this is what the analytics say? Or are you a gut guy going by, what's in here, or using your experience, or maybe it's a mix of both?
It's gut. It's information from Coach Cash, Coach Chavis, and when things are going good, it's easy to make that decision.
Sure.
Okay. When things are going, when there's a struggle, sometimes I might need somebody to push me a little bit. So I think that all those variables come into play, with the situation. Now we have a 2-point chart, but we don't have I don't have anybody working analytics up there. I guess I could get Tripp on that. He's a numbers guy. Maybe he could be my analytical guy when it comes to whether to go for it or not.
Well, he was the one analyzing, okay, how many pounds can we fit on this plane, and getting everybody's, weight and all that.
Yeah.
So he would be the obvious candidate. Did also want to ask about going for the fake field goal. Certainly understandable situation to go for that there. And, boy, by all accounts, it was wide open, but it's kind of like it just looked like for the holder roper, kind of like that basketball player that's stripped on the way up. It just looked like he never had the football. Aaron on the Monday Morning Quarterback said in basketball it would have been a foul. It's like, well, unfortunately, we're playing a collision sport. You can do that in football. Yeah. What was the play design there, and what happened in trying to get that ball out there? Because it looked like one of your stinger backs was open.
Yeah, we felt like that. Again, we've had a couple of extra points blocked, so we just felt like we had thought about running it earlier.
Sure.
And they kind of had it defended, we felt like. So the second time we called it, again, it's a feast or famine play. Okay.
Sure.
I will blame the execution on myself, meaning that I felt like that we should have executed it, or should have coached the execution. It starts with me on that jump pass. We had him going 2 steps, and he should have just got it, took 1 step, and jumped up and threw it. Just anytime you do a play like this, Blake, and I've been doing this long enough, and I know this, that you want to make sure all the details are covered. All right, so we put that play in we repped it on a Thursday. Okay, so I wish we had been able to rep that thing on a Tuesday, to where you got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and by Saturday, it's and sometimes that happens where you decide to do something, and it's happened. We've done it offensively, put a play in on Thursday, and guess what? Sometimes it scores.
Sure.
All right. Sometimes it does not, but that would be the only thing I wish that I would have said, hey, let's run the fake. Let's work this thing. Let's put it in earlier than what we did. So and you got to make sure everything's secure in the middle, everything's secure in the backside. But again, it was there.
Yeah, the play design looked like a good one. We'll put that back in the toolbox, and we'll see when we see it again. Emporia State getting set for the Turnpike Tussle coming up against Washburn. So we'll take a timeout. We'll dive more into the Ichabods here later on in the show when Coach comes back. But we'll welcome in GA Declan Hobb, second year as a defensive assistant following his Hornet football career. Live from 627 Event Space, this is Hornet Talk. You're listening to Emporia State Football.
The road to adventure is calling.
Road trip!
If you're planning a road trip, be sure to schedule your maintenance with Black Creek Diesel and Automotive first. Oil changes, alignment, brakes, and tires, everything you need to keep your car cruising. And they'll even give you a free digital inspection. Hit the road with peace of mind. Give them a call today. Black Creek Diesel and Automotive, 620-343-0086. Or stop by 3105 West 6th in Emporia.
As the leaves fall, it's the perfect time to grow your financial know-how. At Emporia State Federal Credit Union, they believe in helping you create a strong financial future. Whether you're learning to budget, save for the holidays, or plan for the new year, they're here to help every step of the way. Free courses and calculators can be found by clicking on the banner at esfcu.com or text or call them today, 620-342-2336. Federally insured by NCUA.
When you need fast care, Newman Regional Health Medical Partners Express Care is here for you. Conveniently located on-site at Newman Regional Health, Express Care offers walk-in service for non-emergency illnesses and injuries. No appointment needed. Open 7 days a week to keep you feeling your best. Call today at 620-343-7828. Trust Express Care for quick, reliable treatment. Newman Regional Health Medical Partners Express Care, helping the Hornets achieve their healthy goals.
When seconds making a play, Short's got it covered.
A winning insurance strategy doesn't rely on one person.
Good hustle, good hustle. Communicate with your guys and make sure everyone's in the right company.
It takes a team that knows its roles well, working together to provide an exceptional experience.
Set the screen. You have to protect yourself. 1, 2, 3, Wildcat!
At Shelter Insurance, you can count on our local agents and award-winning customer service to help you protect what matters most.
Shelter agents Kelly Madrano and Dave Watts are proud sponsors of this Hornet Talk.
Catch the spirit and gear up for game day with Sports Connection, Kansas' leading team sporting goods provider. Sports Connection is your go-to for anything sporting goods, with the biggest brands in sports at competitive prices. Whether you're there for the tailgate or touchdowns, Sports Connection has the ESU fan apparel for game day that you need. Show your Hornet pride and get your fan gear at Sports Connection, 2721 West 15. Stingers up!
Headed to the game or celebrating after? Swing by 627 Event Space Bar and Grill. Whether you're grabbing a burger before kickoff or winding down with a beer after the buzzer, 627 has you covered. Emporia's go-to spot for great food, cold drinks, and unbeatable vibes. 627 Event Space Bar and Grill, the new home for Hornet Talk at 627 Commercial. Proud supporters of the Emporia State University Hornets. Stingers up!
Mix 104.9.
Back here at 627 Event Space, it is Washburn Week. The Turnpike Tussle is getting started. Game number 10 for the 4-5 Hornets, 3-4 in the MIAA. Washburn is 2-7, 1-6 in the league, but Washburn, they have been pretty competitive here, so Hornets know they're not going to be able to just show up when they head up to Moore Bowl on Saturday. It's a 1 o'clock kickoff and a noon RV Doc pregame show. We'll have it for you on Mix 104.9. Joining us now is a second-year GA, but a long Hornet playing career at linebacker, Declan Hobb, joining us here on Hornet Talk. Coach Hobb, appreciate the time. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Yeah, thank you.
Looking at that Northwest game, it felt like there were some long stretches there. You take away the last 4 minutes of the first quarter and maybe that first 5 minutes or so of the third quarter. And, I mean, heck, you guys, the defense was put in. I mean, they scored 2 touchdowns on, 49 total yards worth of drives. Overall, I feel like you guys should feel like the defense played pretty well. How did you guys, as a staff, kind of break down that Northwest game?
I mean, we were proud of them. I thought they played hard. Like you said, there was a lot of good things that we did that we can take away from that game, kind of learn and grow from it. But also, I mean, you're playing a good team like that. You got to limit the mistakes that you make. And unfortunately, we just made a few too many. And they took advantage of our mistakes and ended up getting us.
Overall, linebacker play in that game, since that's your position of speciality, how did you break that down?
I mean, kind of the same way. I mean, there's a few mistakes we made there, but also, I mean, those guys flying around, making a lot of plays. I thought we did good. We knew we were going to have to stop the run going into this game. I thought they did a pretty good job at that. But yeah, I mean, just at the end of the day, just a few too many mistakes.
How surprised were you that the running quarterback Owens didn't play more than he did? Certainly coming in, he's the MIAA Player of the Week 2 weeks ago. Now, they certainly had some problems with turnovers with him the previous week, but certainly I thought maybe it'd be closer. Maybe it's going to be 50-50, 60-40. I certainly didn't think it was going to be, 95% Runke and, 5% him.
Yeah, no, I mean, I was in the same boat. I was kind of shocked not seeing 10 out there. I mean, kind of looking back earlier in the season, they brought him in. He was kind of a guy that was a spark for their offense and kind of got them going. They were kind of struggling themselves there, getting things rolling in the beginning of the season, and he kind of helped them out. But I mean, 15 Runke's, he's a good player too.
Declan Hobb is our guest, second-year graduate assistant following his Hornet playing career at linebacker. Overall, linebacker play this season, I mean, man, Landon Boss, do you have the words for what this guy has done? And Gabe Booker's been good. You guys have had a lot of just solid play up and down the linebacking core on both the black and the gold unit so far.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, Boss. I mean, the kid's special. I mean, he does a lot of things that you can't really coach, can't really teach on. I mean, he's a ball player. You mentioned Gabe Booker too. It's kind of the same way. One thing I'll say about those two guys is they just continue to get better every week. I mean, they both want to be coached. They pay attention, they grind. They take pride in their preparation, and then just the whole group as a whole. It's been kind of cool to see. I was in that room for 6 years. I think this is probably the deepest it's been, and that's even unfortunately dealing with a couple injuries. I mean, we're missing a couple guys, but I mean, they're a fun group to work with. And like I said, those guys show up every day ready to work. They know they got a long way to go, but I think they also recognize the potential that's in that room. And
one of those guys that is trying to work back is Cade Stevenson. It feels like he's gotten a lot more in the mix here these last couple of weeks. What have you noticed from him, watching him try to work his way back into the lineup from injury?
Yeah, no, I mean, he's done a good job. He's been practicing better. You can tell his mentality and everything, his attitude's been a lot better. I think, getting hurt it's never an easy thing to deal with. But
I know that you speak from, unfortunately, some degree of experience in that category.
Yeah,
unfortunately, looking at this, yourself as a GA, you mentioned 6 years with the program as a player. Now 2 as a GA. I mean, this is like, a third of your life, a whole decade with Emporia State football. What's it been like, these 2 years as a graduate assistant versus the 6 years you had as a player?
Well, actually, I mean, this is just my first year. I just got done playing last season, so I started back in January.
That's right.
It
feels like it's been longer than it is.
Yeah, no, it does. I mean, like you said,
that means you got one more year after this.
No, I actually got graduated in May.
Okay.
So trying to figure out what's going to be going on after the season. but we'll take care of that when it gets there. But it's been awesome. This place is like home to me. Like I said, I've been here for pretty much a decade of my life. I've really grown up here. I love this place. It's special.
Looking at what you have done here and learned, what's something that you've taken away from this graduate assistantship experience that you've had this season?
It's been an experience as far as just how the season's gone. I kind of look back at the previous years. We've had a lot of success and a lot of really good highs. I feel like, and just one learning experience so far is just kind of how you have to deal with the ups and downs of how this season's gone. I think that's been probably the biggest learning experience for me.
For you, and we're talking with Declan Hobb, in his graduate assistant here from Emporia State, working with the linebackers. In terms of program guys, you're a program guy, been here, played, now coaching, entire career at Emporia State. What's this program meant to you? So many guys talk about how much of a family this is, and you're certainly a big part of that family, and will be wherever you end up after this season.
Yeah, first off, I remember when I first came here, I didn't really have a whole lot of opportunities coming out of high school. It just meant the world to have a shot to keep playing the game. I'm just thankful that I had that opportunity, and then looking back the years I've been here, it's been awesome. I've made a lot of friends. I've grown up a lot. I can't really say enough.
Looking in terms of the future, what did you study here at Emporia State?
I just got my master's in business administration.
Okay, so obviously there's a number of different ways. Yeah, you can apply for a master's degree.
Sure.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, you can apply for that. You've mentioned, future here, a lot of different things that you could do with that degree. Anything stand out, even though you haven't made a decision? Any things that you're thinking about in terms of the future?
I'll probably keep coaching. Just knowing myself, I don't really know what else I'd do.
Sure.
Football's really all I know.
Any specific level you'd like to coach, NFL or college or high school?
No, I'd like to stay in college.
College, sure. Got nothing wrong with that. Well, finally, as a program guy who's been here so long, what role do you have to kind of explain to so many new guys? Because unlike the last 2 years that you played on, where there were so many veteran guys, there's a lot of new guys this year that kind of need to get up to speed on what Washburn Week really is like. So what's your role in kind of explaining the Hornets, the Ichabod's, and kind of how this thing goes?
I think it's kind of similar. When I first got here, I really didn't know who Washburn was. I wasn't recruited by him or anything. Being from Oklahoma, I wasn't familiar with him. So kind of the way I learned about it is just the history. It's one of the oldest rivalries in Division II, obviously, and then just it means a lot to a lot of people. Inside the program, outside the program, people in this town. I think it's always something everybody talks about, and you learn about it pretty quickly.
Yes, you do. And we will continue the second most played active rivalry in NCAA Division II coming up on Saturday at Moore Bowl. It is a 1 o'clock kickoff, noon for the RV Doc pregame show. We'll have it for you on Mix 104.9. Declan Hobb, GA, here for Emporia State. Thanks so much for your time.
Yeah, thank you.
Coach Hobb, ladies and gentlemen, here on Hornet Talk. Let's take a timeout. We'll talk with running back Diego Kearns. What a week for him with his career-high 100-yard rushing game, a 55-yard touchdown. He will join us next. Live from 627 Event Space, this is Hornet Talk. You're listening to Emporia State Football.
As the leaves fall, it's the perfect time to grow your financial know-how. At Emporia State Federal Credit Union, they believe in helping you create a strong financial future. Whether you're learning to budget, save for the holidays, or plan for the new year, they're here to help every step of the way. Free courses and calculators can be found by clicking on the banner at esfcu.com or text or call them today, 620-342-2336. Federally insured by NCUA.
Newman Regional Health Medical Partners is proud to provide the same orthopedic and sports medicine care trusted by the athletes on the Hornet fields. Their expert medical team serves the greater Emporia area with comprehensive treatment for sprains, fractures, joint pain, and sports-related injuries. Trusted by athletes and available to everyone. Schedule your appointment today with Newman Regional Health Medical Partners at 620-343-2376. Newman Regional Health, achieving healthy goals.
Pickup truck, sports car, motorcycle, minivan, townhouse, two-story, farmhouse, fixer-upper. What you drive and where you live is different for everyone, so it's important to have insurance that fits your needs and is just right for you. At Shelter Insurance, we understand that, which is why our agents help you design a comprehensive auto, home, and life insurance plan. Insurance that fits just right.
For a free personal protection review, contact Shelter Insurance Agent Dave Watts.
It's time to fall forward into football season and cheer on your favorite team. So why not get new gear for you and your family at Sports Connection? Sports Connection carries Emporia High and area high school team apparel, as well as ESU, KU, and K-State gear. They also do custom screen printing for your team, booster club, or your family and fans. Catch the spirit with new fan gear from Sports Connection. Sports Connection, 2721 West 15th Emporia.
Headed to the game or celebrating after? Swing by 627 Event Space Bar and Grill. Whether you're grabbing a burger before kickoff or winding down with a beer after the buzzer, 627 has you covered. Emporia's go-to spot for great food, cold drinks, and unbeatable vibes. 627 Event Space Bar and Grill, the new home for Hornet Talk at 627 Commercial. Proud supporters of the Emporia State University Hornets. Stingers up!
Do you have a new driver in the family? Start them off with just more than the fundamentals of driving from point A to B. Make sure they understand what actually keeps their car reliable and on the road and safe. At Black Creek Diesel Automotive, they can schedule regular maintenance with oil changes, tire rotations, and more. Visit blackcreekdieselautomotive.com or give them a call at 620-343-0096.
Diego Kearns on the carry. Touchdown, ESU.
It is rivalry week for the Emporia State football team, getting set to face the Washburn Ichabods coming up on Saturday. We'll have the pregame coverage at noon with kickoff at 1 o'clock there in Topeka on Mix 104.9. Listen online at kvoe.com/listen. We are now joined by running back Diego Kearns. He is the team leader with 109 rushes, 606 yards. He's only lost 16 all year. He's averaging 5.5 yards per carry, 7 touchdowns. He's ranking in the top 5 in the MIAA there, 67 yards per game, and a career-long 55-yard touchdown run. Give the Hornets a 7-0 lead on homecoming, and it was the first 100-yard rushing game since Gunnar Gundy ran for 100 against Central Missouri last year. Diego Kearns joining us from Aurora, Colorado here on Hornet Talk. Diego, congratulations. Thanks so much for your time. Congratulations on your good performance.
Thank you for having me here and talking with me today.
Well, let's start with the 55-yard run. Boy, it looked like, and they're showing the replay here for the folks at Hornet Talk. So, hey, come on down. It's an interactive show. You can watch the replays up here. But, boy, it just looked like the middle of the field kind of opened up. I think you just used your speed to kind of turn on the afterjets there at the end. What did you see on that play?
Well, first of all, obviously, it's those big guys that we have up front, man. We've been working hard all year, or all off season. And, I've been getting clowned about getting hawked down, so I had to tune in and lock into some inner speed and just finish it.
Well, and I thought one other thing that I just thought of is Coach Higgins has talked so much about tempo, and that was really a tempo play because Ford had just made the catch. You guys got that play snapped pretty quick. How much did you getting that play snapped? And, hey, give credit to those big guys up front that hustled up to the line and got the play blocked in time as well. How much did that or does that help set up a play like that?
I think our tempo destroys defensive linemen and linebackers. It gets them overtaken, I believe. I believe 43 is a great player on Northwest. He just overflowed, and one mistake, like you can see, one mistake can lead to big things.
Yeah, it certainly did for you. Diego Kearns joining us from Aurora, Colorado. I mean, you were able – how tough was their defense? Because, for you to get your first 100-yard rushing game in your career and your longest career rush against a defense like that, I mean, it's got to give you so much confidence.
Well, I mean, I'm definitely a guy that doesn't like to have too much confidence or not enough confidence. I've always been taught to just stay level-headed, so I don't really see anything much differently. I'm just ready to keep doing what I have to do.
Sure. Well, I mean, I know that for the most part, it's been a lot different kind of a running offense this year for Emporia State because you guys have been playing in the Maverick back set, which hasn't been used the last couple of years. You guys are running the ball at a much higher percentage than has been for the last couple of years. What's that been like for you guys and the other ones in the running back room? Max Middleton's kind of been doing the dirty work, setting blocks for you guys, and then Camden Crooks has been a big part of the running game for you guys as well.
Yeah, I mean, I love those guys, man. I mean, Max, yeah, like you said, he does the dirty work, but he loves it. He loves to be out there, and me and Cam, we just fit each other so well, and that's my guy. And I mean, we're just going to keep elevating each other and picking each other up every day.
Diego Kearns is my guest from Aurora, Colorado, and same hometown as our guest last week on the show, Peyton Taylor,
Yeah.
to Eagle Crest Raptors. How well did you guys know each other when you were playing there for Eagle Crest High School?
Well, crazy story is we actually hated each other before we actually became
Really?
Yeah, before we actually became like best friends. It was more like a competitive type of thing, like because he transferred into Eagle Crest, if that makes sense.
Oh, yeah, it does.
And we just didn't like each other because we were just competitive towards each other. But at the end of the day, we just became really close at Eagle Crest, and it just set off from there.
So what changed that? What changed the dynamic there?
I think just when he transferred to Eagle Crest, it was more like he was gonna play quarterback, believe it or not.
Oh, okay.
And I was the running back, obviously. So you just gotta build that chemistry, and then we were hanging out every day, and then it just continued literally till today. Like we're still doing that same thing every day. So
That's awesome. So you guys are still friends here at Emporia. Did you guys pick Emporia State together, or how did that recruiting go when you guys both decided that the Hornets were where you wanted to play?
I actually committed right before my science class, and I told Peyton about it, and I told Coach Goodman about Peyton, and then Coach McDowell ended up texting Peyton, I believe, or Coach Goodman, and it kind of just went from there. And then he took a visit to Missouri Western, and he said, and a visit to Emporia the very next day, and he was just like, I think Emporia is the place for both of us to go. And I was like, let's do it, let's turn it up.
Awesome. Well, here you both are. Diego Kearns joining us here from Aurora, Colorado. I'm assuming at some point he switched to defense, or did he play both ways?
He played both ways, but mainly defensive back in high school. But he played a lot of receiver too, but he liked returning.
Okay. How did that go when you were trying to evade him, or he was trying to tackle you?
He can't. We play about that all the time. I say if we're ever one-on-one, you're not tackling me.
Wow.
That he will. So
Well,
it's just us being competitive.
Peyton, my apologies. We didn't ask you last week. Didn't give you a chance to defend yourself. So maybe next year on Hornet Talk. What are you studying here at Emporia State?
I'm a sports leadership recreation major, but I definitely want to do something with law probably after I graduate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What got you interested in the law?
I kind of want to just know more about contracts and stuff, so I can do.
Oh, okay.
I kind of want to be like a sports agent or something after football.
Okay, I hear there is some money in that. If there was one person that you could be the agent for right now, is there one that you'd be like, man, that would be the dream signing?
I mean, obviously everyone would say the GOATs of the sports, but I like people that could come on the come up, if that makes sense. I got some people that are in the league that I know about that I would definitely love to help out, if it comes to the chance.
Sure.
Like Terrence Ferguson or anything.
Okay.
That's really just people that could be on the come up, if anything,
Sure. A little bit off the beaten path. I love that. We're talking with Diego Kearns here, getting set for Washburn. How much do you know, and how much are you telling newer guys about this Washburn rivalry?
Man, this is a big thing here, and I take pride in it as well. It's a good team for sure. You can't doubt anybody just because of their record. You can't doubt anybody. It's going to be a big game, and I know they're tough, mentally tough. We are too. I think it's just going to be a fight, and I think we're going to just have to come out on top.
And you mentioned that they've played the last two games. They've lost by a combined 6 points. They played a ton of close games this year. As you kind of went through your independent film study on the day off, what are the couple of things that you've noticed about the Ichabod defense?
Similar to kind of what we do, really. So I think it's just going to be another, type of day against us. But I just think we'll be fine. It's going to be a great day for sure.
Okay, and the great day will be on Saturday up at Moore Bowl in Topeka, Emporia State at Washburn, and it will be the 121st meeting in the series that began in 1899. Hornets and the Ichabods will have the coverage for you beginning at noon with the RV Doc pregame show, 1 o'clock for the kickoff on Mix 104.9. Diego, let's get 100-yard rushing game number 2 on Saturday. What do you say?
Absolutely. Let's do it.
Diego Kearns, ladies and gentlemen, coming off of a career-high game against Northwest Missouri. We'll wrap things up. Coach Higgins is next. We'll start breaking down these bods. I got a couple recruiting questions to ask him as well. We'll talk about that in a moment. Live from 627 Event Space, this is Hornet Talk. You're listening to Emporia State Football.
At Newman Regional Health, our local providers are here to care for the people who matter most, our friends, family, and neighbors. From annual checkups to everyday care, they're here to help you stay healthy, feel your best, and achieve your healthy goals. Call 620-343-2376 to schedule your appointment today or visit us online at newmanrh.org. Newman Regional Health, here to support you and the community we call home.
Life is loud, chaotic, hilarious, and occasionally peaceful. Your life fits you, so why settle for life insurance that fits someone else? At Shelter Insurance, our local agents help you design a personal protection plan backed by award-winning customer service. We're your shield. We're your shelter. Shelter Life Insurance Company, Columbia, Missouri.
For a free personal protection review, contact Shelter Agent Kelly Medrano in Emporia.
Catch the spirit and gear up for game day with Sports Connection, Kansas leading team sporting goods provider. Sports Connection is your go-to for anything sporting goods, with the biggest brands in sports at competitive prices. Whether you're there for the tailgate or touchdowns, Sports Connection has the ESU fan apparel for game day that you need. Show your Hornet pride and get your fan gear at Sports Connection, 2721 West 15. Stingers up.
Headed to the game or celebrating after? Swing by 627 Event Space Bar and Grill. Whether you're grabbing a burger before kickoff or winding down with a beer after the buzzer, 627 has you covered. Emporia's go-to spot for great food, cold drinks, and unbeatable vibes. 627 Event Space Bar and Grill, the new home for Hornet Talk at 627 Commercial. Proud supporters of the Emporia State University Hornets. Stingers up!
The road to adventure is calling.
Road trip!
If you're planning a road trip, be sure to schedule your maintenance with Black Creek Diesel and Automotive first. Oil changes, alignment, brakes, and tires, everything you need to keep your car cruising. And they'll even give you a free digital inspection. Hit the road with peace of mind. Give them a call today. Black Creek Diesel and Automotive, 620-343-0086. Or stop by 3105 West 6th in Emporia.
As the leaves fall, it's the perfect time to grow your financial know-how. At Emporia State Federal Credit Union, they believe in helping you create a strong financial future. Whether you're learning to budget, save for the holidays, or plan for the new year, they're here to help every step of the way. Free courses and calculators can be found by clicking on the banner at esfcu.com or text or call them today, 620-342-2336. Federally insured by NCUA.
Mix 104.9.
And we're not that far away from basketball, Hornet Talk fans and Hornet Nation. We'll see you out there at Late Night at White coming up on Wednesday. White Auditorium, get a chance to meet the Hornets and Lady Hornets. And it's 100% free. Doors at 7, fun starts at 8. They've got prizes, intra-squad scrimmages. It'll be a great night. We'll see you out there 8 o'clock for that event, Late Night at White for Hornet basketball, the official tip-off to Hornet basketball season. Coach, you said after the game, it's important to finish the right way in terms of this season. What does that mean for you with a team with so many new players?
Well, first and foremost, we got to take care of business this week, and that's where it starts. You know, the one thing that I told the team after the game is that, look, we didn't play well enough to win that football game. We earned what we got, which was a loss. But every time our backs have been against the wall, just like it is right now, coming off a loss, our players have responded and just talked about how much we trust them as a staff and to rebound off of this loss. And we had some momentum coming after that really good win at Central Missouri, and come back for homecoming and take a loss like we did. It's frustrating. So for us to get back in this thing the right way is making sure that we prepare the way we've been preparing and practice the same way. And, we're getting here to the end of the year. And I really like this group. It is a tight-knit group. We have struggled at times, but there is light at the end of the tunnel. And if this group were to stick together, there's I believe some great things down the road.
Obviously, a lot of that starts in recruiting, and I wanted to ask you a recruiting question because Greg Ray had come back. He was at the Hall of Honor, emceed for you guys as you welcomed in another fantastic class last week on Friday. And Tim Miller was in there, former voice of the Emporia High Spartans. And you had mentioned Braxton Marstall. He called Jamison Sarver, and Tim said, man, I always wondered, how did he know that in that flex bone that Braxton was going to work out? Because he threw for 4,000 yards in his career. You've got guys that throw for 3,000 yards in a season now. So I said, well, I don't know. Maybe I'll just ask Coach. So how did you look at Braxton Marstall and know, that flex bone quarterback, he's the one?
Right. Well, he came to our camp, our summer camp. So we were able to take him through our drills, take him through the routes that we run, and have him throw. And that's when, and he came to our camp ever since he was a sophomore.
Sure.
All the way up until his senior year. So I was able to watch him through each summer, and I just knew. We didn't talk about it much. We didn't want anybody else to know about it. Because
you didn't call up all your coaching buddies in the MIAA and be like, man, this Emporia High kid.
Yeah.
You better get on him.
Great. He had great touch on the ball, big-time arm, was tall, was athletic, could run because he ran the flex bone. He might throw it 5 or 6 times a game, but he still might have 250 yards passing just because, everybody was wide open because how well they ran the option. So it was funny. One game, I think we threw it 72 times in against Lindenwood, maybe his junior year. I just think about those times he went from throwing it 6 times a game to throwing it anywhere from 40 to 60 times a game.
That's probably his entire high school passing career.
I think that's what we joked about that.
The final thing for you, first look at this Washburn team that is 2-7, 1-6 in the MIAA, but I'm not sure that record and their standing really indicates the kind of football team that they have been. They've lost the last 2 by a combined 6 points. They've got, 4 single-digit losses this year, so they're not that far away from having a much kind of different-looking season. So what are your initial thoughts on Washburn?
Yeah, they're better. All right, first they're better. I think Coach Watkins is he's establishing, I'm sure he's taking a lot of the things that they've done there, but he's putting his own spin on things. And the thing about it is, they struggled last year, and his players they're playing hard. If you look at, like you said, they just lost their last 2 games by a touchdown, and for them to continue to play the way they're playing, that says something. And they can, and in rivalry games, as you know, you throw all the records out. Does not matter. We got to go to their place. We got to get up in the morning, eat breakfast, get on the bus. Might just throw our pants on before we get on the bus and head up to Topeka. So it's a little bit different schedule for us, but I love these games like this, and I believe that our players are looking forward to it as well.
It's a big rivalry, the second most played in Division II. The Hornets and the Ichabods for the 121st time on Saturday at Moore Bowl. We'll have it for you 1 o'clock and the noon RV Doc pregame show on Mix 104.9. Coach, go get them. Thanks so much.
Thank you, Blake.
Head Coach Garrett Higgins, ladies and gentlemen, and that is our show. We will see you in the capital city coming up on Saturday at Moore Bowls, Yager Stadium. Thanks to everybody for coming out tonight and for listening online at KVOE.com/listen. Thanks to the great folks here at 627 Event Space. Make sure you tip your server. We'll see you next week for the show here at 627 Event Space Bar and Grill. Ashley and the crew can't wait to serve you. 627 Commercial in downtown Emporia. Thank you to Iris Renteria back at our KFFX studios. I'm Blake Cripp saying good night and Stingers up.